what this legislation will do is to overturn the Supreme Court decision that essentially mitigated the ability to file lawsuits for equal pay or for equal work. Now, Mr. President, I'm not new to this bill, and neither are you. You might recall in April, we had our vote on the Supreme Court on the Lilly Ledbetter bill. And you might recall that it was a very intense and emotional debate. Most of the women in the Senate came on the floor. We were dressed in red because that was the colors all of the women's movement and Mrs. Ledbetter herself wore. We lost that vote by essentially 2 votes. And as everybody left the floor, they thought it was over. But I knew it wasn't over because we weren't going to let it be over. We were going to continue the fight. And I said to my colleagues then, and I say now, that when we lost the vote, we would come back and fight another day, and that day is here. And it's a long day that's coming. This year, this new year, and this new Congress and this new president brings us not only a new year, but it also has created a new economic reality. The economy is tanking with no end in sight. Retirement accounts are plummeting. Home values are sinking. Unemployment is surging. This isn't news to women. Women who are in the workplace today know how hard it is to get and keep a job. And what we also know, that in good times or bad times, women are discriminated against in terms of the pay that they receive. That right now, today, in 21st century of America, women still earn only 77 cents an hour for what men receive for the equivalent of $1 an hour. Now, there have been women who pursued the legal remedies. And in May 2007, the Supreme Court made an outrageous decision. They said women can't get equal pay for equal work unless they file a complaint 180 days from when the discrimination began. Well, women don't always know when discrimination begins. They meant from the very first day you get that first paycheck that discriminates against you, within 180 days, within 6 months, you're supposed to know that and go file a complaint. Well, we would love to be able to do that. But this decision doesn't reflect the reality of the workplace. Men get raises and promotions, but women are often overlooked and undervalued. What we saw in the Supreme Court decision was that it was a backward step for women, and it violates the very concept of fairness and justice. The Supreme Court decision was so outrageous that our beloved and esteemed Justice Ginsburg took the unusual position of reading her dissent from the bench. She called upon Congress to fix it, and that's what this bill does. Our bill restores the original language that existed before Ledbetter. Now, along the way, President Bush heard about our legislation. He threatened to veto it. Well, on January 20th, we'll have a new president, and he'll not only sign it, he campaigned with Lilly Ledbetter and made a promise to the American people. When President-elect Obama, who will by then have taken his oath of office, this will probably be the very first piece of legislation he'll sign. What a sweet day for women all over America.